Hello, sweet yogis. Welcome to your practice today. My name is Julia Narse, and I will be guiding you through this restorative practice that will ease low back pain. So for the practice, you'll need a bolster or two if you have them. If you only have one bolster, you could also supplement with some yoga blocks. You can pick this stuff up pretty inexpensively. Local yoga studio to support your local yoga studio. Amazon, Target has, and Walmart have yoga blocks typically, but they don't have bolsters. So you can pick those up a variety of different places, but you will need those for the practice today. So this practice is designed to just ease some low back pain. Perhaps you're having some back pain from sitting too much. Maybe you're working from home, getting all those Zoom calls in, or perhaps you're in the car a lot and it's creating some tension in your low back. I'm not a doctor, so if it is, an emergency, go see your doctor, but hopefully this will give you some relief. Let's go ahead and start in our first pose. The first pose, you'll just need one bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you could also use a big pillow for support. Any other props, just go ahead and place them over to the side. So our first pose of the practice is our child's pose position, but a supported child's pose. Supported child's pose, place the base of your bolster up against your knees, and then it goes a long ways forward. So if you have a yoga block and you just want more support, you want it to be more delicious, you can also prop it up this way. Once you have your prop position, go ahead and release down. You can release down, placing one cheek onto the mat if you like, or one ear, and then you're always welcome to switch it as we move along through the practice and you need to switch it. Another choice is if you want your head to be centered, you can place a block like so on top of your bolster and then release your forehead so that your forehead is rested onto the edge of the block. So it's going right across between the brows, right at the third eye center. Once you're into position, go ahead and allow for yourself to settle into this pose. In our restorative practice, we are nurturing the nervous system as well as the body. We do this through our breath. And so as you come into your pose, imagine that with each exhale, you're releasing the tension that you're experiencing in your body out. So you can breathe in mindfully. And just knowing that you're breathing in more oxygen, more prana, more life force with each inhale. Each exhale, imagine that the pain or the discomfort is melting away, fresh wave flowing that out of your body. Each time your mind starts to wander, your mind starts to take over, reconnect it with the breath. And just once again, each time imagining that you're breathing in more oxygen, more prana, more life force, and then exhale, releasing out the tension that's in your body. During our practice, there'll be long periods of silence. And during these periods of silence, I encourage you to stay connected with your breath. I'll always cue you when it's time to come out. for just a couple more breaths. Bring your awareness back into this present time and space. Let your next inhale bring you up. Rooting down through your hands, and then start to push yourself up. You can place any block that you may have over to the side. Keep your bolster right where it's at. You're going to bring your knees over to the long edge of your mat and have your hip to the right side of your bolster. Allow for your knees to just loosely stack. This is a gentle twist that we'll move into. One of my favorite postures is called a reclined deer. You also, it's also just a very gentle, mild reclined twist. You can place your bolster to the base of your hip. Place your right hand to the side that your knee is not on, and your knees are going to be on the same direction as your left hand. So place your chest down onto your bolster. Place your right ear, your right cheek down. You come into this pose just allowing for your shoulders to melt down, releasing any tension out of your arms, out of your hands, out of your shoulders. And you can go ahead and close your eyes. Scan through your body and see if you can get more comfortable. Maybe shifting around through your feet and shifting around through your shoulders, whatever you need to do to get as comfortable as you can to give yourself the opportunity to surrender and commit into this pose. anything like me, your mind drifted off to another galaxy, just feeling at complete ease and peace here. If you're like me, just go ahead and bring your attention back into the present time and space. Taking a few more mindful breaths within this posture before we move into the second side. I'm going to ask you to rise up just enough to go onto the second side. Bring your hands underneath of your shoulders. Push down through your hands for support, allowing for your head to come up last. And now switch your knees over so that the knees are facing up towards the sky. You can even give your legs a little bit of a windshield wiper here, releasing your low back. This time we'll move on to our second side. Go ahead and place your left hip now to the base of your bolster. Your knees are coming to the opposite side of the long edge of your mat. You'll have your left hand on the side away from your knees, the right hand on the same side as your knees. Place your chest down onto your bolster. Gaze comes over towards the right this time. Allow for your right ear, right cheek to release down onto your bolster. Once again, just taking these first few moments within the pose to get as comfortable as you can. Adjusting through your legs, through your arms, so that you have the best opportunity to commit into stillness. Allowing for your body to restore and revive. Sweet yogis, you're almost there. Take 3 more mindful breaths, just allowing for your mind to come back. Bring your hands underneath of your shoulders, start to rise up. You're coming up nice and slow. Swing your knees back around, bringing your knees up towards the ceiling. The base of your bolster is now to the small of your back, but we won't release back and down yet. Give yourself this opportunity to windshield wipe your legs, going left and right, left and right. It feels so good. Hopefully you're feeling nice and calm at this point. So for our next pose, if you want to use 2 bolsters, you're more than welcome to. You can place one underneath of your knees. This tends to take some of the pressure off the low back when we're laid onto our back. You'll place this other one so it goes into, right below the shoulder blades, not too far down, not too far up, but so that the base of it is right around where your shoulder blades are at. If you need to move it a bit lower, just experiment with how it feels good in your body. And then you'll release your head all the way down to the ground and cactus through your arms. So in this pose, if that feels a little bit strenuous, depending on the size of your bolster and flexibility of your back, you can always place another support underneath of your head that will make it a little bit less intense if you want to turn the spice down. So take this opportunity now to adjust through your props. Finding that sweet spot with all of your props. I like to cactus my arms here because the bolster is there, so just cactusing the arm. And see if you need to shift around a little, wiggle a little. And then find that stillness. This pose is so good to help with our posture. Sometimes when we're sitting in the car or on our computers working from home too much, then our back starts to round our upper back, our shoulders. This will help to open up through the chest and through the heart center. And allow for better posture, which will in turn ease low back pain. And finding the stillness here. Connecting with your breath. And just imagining that each exhale, that tension, that low back pain or discomfort that you may be having is melting out, drifting away. almost there. Take a couple more breaths. Allowing for the transition into our next pose. Go ahead and mindfully push yourself up a bit. And taking your time, there's no need to rush. Be ever so gentle with your body as you rise up. And we'll come up just enough to come into our next pose. Our next pose, if you have a couch or a chair that you prefer to use for that would be great. You can use this. It's a supported legs up the wall of sorts. So we're going into a supported legs up the wall, but I want you to have your legs bent in this position. So if you have a couch, lay down onto the ground and then put your feet and your calves up onto the couch or chair. If not, you can use some props. I'm going to use 2 bolsters here. You could also place the blocks underneath of your bolsters. If you have 3 bolsters, you can stack it up even more. But for me, I'm going to just do it like this, where my legs are up onto the bolster. So you can use your couch and have your legs up onto the couch like this, or a chair. All right, so let's go ahead and find our pose. This is the very last posture of our sequence, so allow for yourself to get as comfortable as you can, allowing for this last posture to be very yummy. Find a good place for your hands. You can have your hands resting onto your belly, onto your heart. Hands can be down beside you or even up overhead, just depending on what you're craving. And tapping into your own intuition. What does your body need today from you? This is our last pose. As you come into this last pose, once again, just using the strength of your mind, visualizing not just the pain being pushed away, but visualizing light and healing coming into the areas that you're feeling tension or discomfort. You can do this by visualizing a white light coming into the body, or a color of your choice. It can also be a symbol of your choice. The universe speaks to us in symbols, so maybe you have a symbol for healing or a symbol for just wholeness. What is that for you? An apple just came to mind for me. So maybe that's my symbol for healing and wholeness is an apple. Whatever that is, just imagining, using the strength of your mind. And holding that thought as we go through this pose. Sweet yogis, on your next breath, start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, finding small movements in your body. Gentle, small movements. Maybe stretching. Bring your hands up overhead for a good morning stretch. Bring your knees into your chest, grabbing onto opposite wrists, forearms, or elbows in a gentle rock, massaging your low back. I invite you now to roll over onto the side of your choice, moving into a fetal position, just allowing for your knees to draw in close, and your bottom arm to serve as a pillow. And taking a few more breaths here. Now allow for yourself to come into a seated position, pushing yourself up into a seated position. And sitting with your legs crossed, that's an option. Bring your hands into Namaskar, into Heart Center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your yoga practice today. I hope that this practice was able to give you a sense of release, a sense of relief as well. Restoring your body, reviving your spirit. As always, thank you for allowing me to be here with you. I honor the love, the light, the beauty, the truth, and the kindness within me. It's also within me. In sharing these things, there's no distance, no difference between us. We are the same. We are one. Namaste, sweet friend.